Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 684 to 685 for the 8th to the 9th of January. Let's start off from the Kupyansk Front. This is Kupyansk and this is the Kupyansk Front. At the Kupyansk Front, the fighting continues in this region. Ukrainians are the one on the initiative right now with attack on the western part of Sinkivka, in the Liman Lake region, as well as at Sinkivka and Ivanivka. The Russians are still trying to attack Sinkivka region. So far it remains a stalemate in this region. In the report from the Russian Defense Ministry, they also mentioned Pischane, but this is not in the front line, so I think this is just a report of them shelling this region here. So we move on away from the Kupyansk Front, we move further south to there's nothing over at the Svetove Front. We move into the Kreminna Front. This is Kreminna city, and at the Kreminna Front, the Russian forces are on the offensive in this region, with fighting reported towards Terny, towards Yampolivka, in the Torsky salient, at Dibrova, as well as within the Serebransky forestry. Ukrainians are counter-attacking over at Terny region, in the eastern part of Terny. Particularly in this region, we have geolocation of a Ukrainian getting shelled by Russian artillery. So this actually changes the front line, showing that the Ukrainian forces actually managed to recapture some of this forest region here. I'm not sure if they have captured the entire of this forest, including this tree line. I'm not sure, but we do have geolocation of them within this forest region. There's a good chance that they already have a good size of control around this region, given that the Russians actually fired artillery in this area here. So we shall continue to monitor and see how this goes. We move on away from the Kreminna Front at the Siversk Front. This is Siversk. At the Siversk Front, we have fighting reported at Vasily, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. This is the only report. We have no idea of what happened on the other front line. This is the only thing. We move on into the Bakhmut Front. This is Bakhmut city. At the northern flank of the Bakhmut Front, Russian forces continue their Bakhmut offensive, with fighting reported over at Bodanivka, towards Ivanivka, Ivanivsky, from Kromove and Bakhmut region. And particularly, we have geolocation of the fighting along the highway, with geolocation of Russian forces storming some building where the Ukrainian forces are at this area here. So this is a cemetery. So the Russian forces are attacking this area here. This shows that the Ukrainian forces have recaptured some positions around the cemetery region. So this actually changes the front line a little bit. Otherwise, pretty much the same. They are just going through the cemetery. Maybe they are taking turns to bury their soldiers. There is geolocation of MLRS. I think is grad launchers firing at Ukrainian positions at this area here, so along this junction. So that's all. So that's all from the northern flank of the Bakhmut Front. In the southern flank, the similar strategic situation continues, with fighting reported in the high grounds in Klishchievka, towards Klishchievka, in Andriivka, as well as Kudyamivka. Geolocation of Ukrainian forces along the tree line continue to confirm that the Ukrainian forces are holding the positions along the railway line along Andriivka. So otherwise, nothing particularly special have changed. We move on. There's not at the Niu-York Front. We only have reports of shelling at Torsky, because they mentioned Torex, because the Russian Defense Ministry mentioned Torex, and they inflicted losses on Ukrainian armed forces and hardware at Torex. Torex is not near the front line, so it have to be shelling. We move on over at the Avdiivka Front. At the Avdiivka Front, the Russian forces continue their Avdiivka offensive. Fighting reported at Novobakhmutivka, in the Avdiivka region, in the Zhevny, Tonenki, Povomaisky, and Nevelsky. Particularly interesting is the fighting reported at Zhevny and Tonenki, because we haven't seen fighting reported for at least a week now. So some frontline changes due to geolocation is by Crimea Caprice. FPV drones of the Russians hit Ukrainian forces along this tree line. So this caused the front line to actually change to something like this. So at least we confirm that the Russians have lost positions along this tree line. So the Ukraine at some point have counterattacked, which was not really reported by anyone, and managed to recapture the tree line. Or it could be the case where the Russians did not hold those positions, and the Ukrainian retook the tree line from the Russians. So other geolocation is Ukrainian forces getting hit over this position, which is already under Ukrainian control. So that's all from the Avdiivka Front. There is some geolocation otherwise, some geolocations around this industrial area. So it's just Ukrainian positions. There is some geolocation, there is some frontline changes around here, but this forest region is not exactly important. So yeah, that's it. We move on over at the Donetsk Front. This is the Donetsk Front. At the Donetsk Front, in the Marinka region, there is some geolocation of Ukrainian forces retaking certain positions. Previously, we have Russians geolocated at this position, and then now the Ukrainians are geolocated here. So this is probably where the front line is right now, with the Ukrainian forces probably retaking or they had always been there. So we have retracted the Russian front line to reflect this change. So this is currently an ongoing battle over in the northern flank of the Marinka-Georgievka region. Further geolocation of Ukrainian forces getting hit by FPV drones in the rear, and Russian forces getting hit by FPV drone in the front. So the FPV drone seems to be the weapon of choice, to really kill infantry. Russian forces is generally reported to be attacking Georgievka, according to both sources, both Russian and Ukrainian sources. So they are currently attacking, probably in the north as well. So this is the current situation over at the Marinka region. Further south of Marinka, we have fighting reported at Boyeda. But that's all we know. We do not know much about this. Only reported by Ryba on the 8th, and then Ukrainian Defense Ministry on the 9th. Over at the Novo-Mikhailivka region, a bit more changes due to some mapping and geolocation, mainly mapping. We can see that there is some changes with the Ukrainian forces gaining this position around here, as well as around this area here. I think this one below is actually Russian advance. Let me see. Yeah, it's Russian advance in this area here. So the Russians have gained control around this area here as they push forward, gaining control of the tree line in the south here. So these tree lines around here has been considered by Deep State UA, the pro-Ukrainian source, saying that the Russians have captured this entire tree line around here. So this would act as a very good forward position for the Russians to actually launch attack into Novo-Mikhailivka. So which is probably going to be a kill zone. With the Ukrainians knowing this, they will definitely secure this area much more stronger. According to Ryba, they mentioned that the Russian forces are attacking in the southeastern part of Novo-Mikhailivka. So the Russians are also pushing in these directions. So we shall continue to wait and see how this progress over at Novo-Mikhailivka. And there is shelling reported at Antonivka, but no, not important. It's in the rear. And that's it from the Donetsk Front. We move into the Zaporizhzhia Front. At the Velika-Novosylka sector of the Zaporizhzhia Front, Russian forces is reported to be attacking Staromayorsky on the 9th of January. So there is some ugly arrow. So attacking, and the Ukrainians are attacking in the north of Prione and towards Prione. So the fighting around Prione is very curious, because suddenly a lot of fighting had been reported around here. So I wonder if it's a concerted Ukrainian attempt to really capture Prione, so that they can undermine the entire front line in this area here. So we shall wait and see how this goes. Prione has been the scene of battles for many times. So over the Hoyapole sector, Russian forces is reported to have attacked Chevone from the south on the 8th of January, but it was not reported on the 9th, so this is just a one-off attack. We move on to the Orikhiv sector. This is the Orikhiv sector. At the Orikhiv sector, the Russian forces are continuing their offensive. Fighting is reported over at the Verbove region, west of Verbove, in the south of Robotine or north of Novoprokopivka, as well as towards Robotine. So this pretty much is the same strategic situation as previously. And geolocation of Russian forces in this position is nothing surprising. So it just reinforced that Russians indeed have actually progressed forward. So this the major offensive that I thought the Russians may have started may not exactly pan out yet. So so there's a false alarm. Over at the Kreminna sector, there is a geolocation of Ukrainian forces along the tree line by military summary. So nothing particularly special about that. And that's all from the Zaporizhzhia front. This is Zaporizhzhia city. We move on into the Kherson Front. This is Kherson city, and this is the Kherson Front. At the Kherson Front, the Ukrainian forces continue to hold a position, a beachhead over at Krinky, with the Ukrainian Defense Ministry continue to say that the Russians are attacking them. Situation at Krinky is quite bad for both sides. The Russians are losing manpower and tanks just to hold a siege on Krinky. So, and according to Russian reports, Ukrainian forces, due to the existence of surface-to-air missile systems, are able to allow their helicopters and planes to fly even over Krinky to launch attack against the rear positions. So this is according to the Russian sources. So it's very interesting that they are mentioning this. They say that there's a lot of bureaucratic issues on the Russian side that cause a lot of inefficiency on the Russians' operations around the Kherson Front. So we shall continue to wait and see, to see if this general also gets sacked, because the previous general got sacked, he got replaced. So maybe we will see another sacking pretty soon. So anyway, this is the summary for the day of 684 to 685 for the 8th to the 9th of January. Yesterday I'm sick. I'm still sick. Yesterday I was very sick, and then I still have to do work that is non-DPA related. So I have zero ways of doing the mapping and reporting. So as you can hear, my voice is rubbish. And anyway, thank you for watching. Do share the video. Do press the like button. If every one of you share at least once on your social media, then at least the viewership can double. So at least double. So help the channel. The viewership has been quite low nowadays, and is definitely putting a strain. If not, then you guys may want to consider supporting DPA via the Patreon or Coffee or Locals, or become YouTube members to help to support the work, because low viewership means low revenue, then it will make the reporting very unsustainable. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next update.